Hello everyone. Today we will learn the second method of finding the derivative by using the differentiation rules. And we are going to start with the first rule, the derivative of a constant. Well, the derivative of a constant is equal to 0. For example, if I have fx equal 4, then f prime of x will equal to 0. Let's say I give you the question as y equal 4. Then you're going to say y prime equals 0 or dy over dx equals 0. What about if I have an x to the power of 3, 4, 5, whatever? So the rule says the power, so x to the power of n, the derivative n can go out. So n x to the power, and then you subtract, so n minus 1. So in this case, f prime of x will be equal 3, and then x to the power 3 minus 1, which is equal 3x squared. Okay, now what about if I have a number, a constant, multiply a function? Well, in this case, f prime of x will be equal to the number multiplied by the derivative of x cubed, the function, which is going to be equal 4 multiply 3 x to the power 3 minus 1, which is equal 12x squared. Now, the sum rule, if I have two functions, has been added. So for example, for x cubed, that's the first function, plus x, the second function. Okay, so we'll start with for x cubed. That's going to be f prime of x, 4 multiply 3, x to the power of 3 minus 1, which is 2, and that's 12x squared, plus the derivative of x. The derivative of x, the power is 1, right? So it's x to the power of 1. So x to the power of 1 will be equal, the derivative, 1 multiply x to the power of 1 minus 1. So 1 multiply x to the power of 1 minus 1, which is equal, so x to the power of 1 minus 1, that's 1 x to the power of 0. And x to the power of 0 is 1. 1 multiply 1 is 1, so plus 1. The difference rule. So f prime of x will be equal to 4 and 3 x to the power of 3 minus 1 minus 1 x to the power of 1 minus 1. That's going to be 12x squared minus 1. Product rule. Well, the product rule, if I have two functions, it will be the derivative of the first multiply the second, plus the first function multiply the derivative of the second. So in this case here, the multiplication between x cubed and x squared plus 1. So the first function is x cubed, the second is x squared plus 1. So we are going to go here on the side and say, let's call u x cubed. Then u prime, it's 3x squared. Now, let's say v is x squared plus 1. The derivative of v is 2x. So what we are going to do, we'll use these in order to apply the rule. So the derivative, u prime times v. So we're starting u prime times v. So 3x squared multiply x squared plus 1 plus uv prime. So we're going to go here and say u multiply v prime. So x cubed multiply 2x. Now we can simplify by expanding. So that's going to be 3x4 plus 3x squared plus 2x4. You can collect the like terms. Here we go. That's the derivative. Okay. Now, what about if I have two functions has been divided? So what we are going to do, we will apply this rule. So let's say that the first function u x squared plus 1, the numerator. So u prime is 2x. Well, this is a constant, the derivative of the constant is 0. And then let's say v equal the denominator, and the derivative of v is a 3x squared. So we're going to go here and find f prime of x. So it's u prime v, so u prime multiplied v, and then minus u v prime, okay, over v squared, so v squared. Simplify, that's going to be 2x4 minus, you can multiply, don't forget the negative on the middle here, so minus 3x4 minus 3x2 over x6. That's going to be equal to negative x4 minus 3x squared over x6. Well, now you can take negative x squared as a common factor. Negative x squared plus 3 over x6, and you can simplify. So it's going to be negative x squared plus 3 over x4. Now, since the derivative is also itself a function, we can find the second derivative, the third derivative, the fourth derivative, and so on. For the first derivative, we call it y prime, which is dy over dx or f prime of x. Second, y double prime, d2y over dx squared or f double prime, and so on. Now, in this question, we need to find the first four derivatives. So let's start with the first one, which is y prime, and that's going to be equal to 3x to the power of 3 minus 1 minus 3 2x to the power of 2 minus 1 plus 0, which is equal 3x squared minus 6x. Now, the second derivative is basically 2x to the power of 2 minus 1 minus 6x to the power of 1 minus 1. And that's going to be equal to 6x minus 6. The third derivative equal 6x to the power of 1 minus 1 minus 0, which is equal 6. Finally, the fourth derivative, this is a constant, so it's going to be 0. Okay, guys? Next question, we need to find the first and second derivative. So you could say s prime, you could say ds over dt, or s prime, which is equal to now 3t to the power of 3 minus 1, which is 2, minus 3t to the power of 5 minus 1, 5 here, and then 5 minus 1, which is equal 15t squared minus 15t4. That's the first derivative. The second derivative, you can say d2s over dt t squared, or you can say s double prime 15 2t to the power of 2 minus 1, which is 1, minus 15 times 4, t to the power of 4 minus 1, which is a 3. That's going to be equal 30 t minus 60 t cube. Same here. So y prime 0, the derivative for 0, then minus 2, the derivative is negative 2x is negative 2, and then minus negative 3 x to the power of negative 3 minus 1, which is equal to negative 2 plus 3 x to the power of negative 4, and you can rewrite it as negative 2 plus 3 over x to the power of 4. Y double prime will be equal to, I'm starting from here, negative 2, the derivative is 0, so we'll go here, so 3, negative 4 x to the power of negative 4 minus 1, which is equal negative 12 x to the power of negative 5, and again you could write it as negative 12 over x5. Now in this question, r can be written as 1 over 3 s to the power of negative 2 minus 5 over 2 s to the power of negative 1. Now you can find the derivative. You can say dr over ds, or you can say r prime, which is equal 1/3 negative 2 s to the power of negative 2 minus 1 minus 5 over 2 negative 1 s to the power of negative 1 minus 1. It's going to be equal to negative 2 over 3 s to the power of negative 3 plus 5 over 2 s to the power of negative 2, and you can rewrite it as negative 2 over 3 s cube plus 5 over 2 s squared. Okay, now the second derivative, for the second derivative I'm going to use this form. Okay, so r double prime equal negative 2 over 3 negative 3s to the power of negative 3 minus 1 plus 5 over 2 negative 2s to the power of negative 2 minus 1 equal, these two will cross out each other, so it's going to be 2s to the power of negative 4, and same here, minus 5s to the power of negative 3. You can rewrite it as 2 over s4 minus 5 over s3. Now, in this question, they want us to find the first derivative, and there are two functions have been multiplied. So we are going to apply the product rule, in which I will call this u and this v. So if u equal 3 minus x squared, then u prime equal negative 2x, and then v is x cubed minus x plus 1, so v prime will be equal to 3x squared minus 1. First thing, I'm going to take u prime v and then u v prime. So y prime, or you can say dy over dx, equal u prime v plus u v prime. So u prime is a negative 2x multiplied the v plus u multiplied v prime. Now you can simplify, expand, and finish the question. Now collect the like terms. And here we go. Now we are going to use the quotient rule. So I'm going to call the numerator u. So u prime will be equal -3. I'm going to call the denominator v. So v prime will be 6x plus 1. First you will take u prime v and then u v prime. Okay, so u prime v and then u v prime between the minus over v squared. So y prime equal, again the denominator will be 3x squared plus x all squared. So -3 3x squared plus x minus 4 minus 3x multiply 6x plus 1. Now you expand. Okay, now you try to collect the like terms. These two will cross out each other. Okay, so the answer will be 9x squared minus 24x minus 4 over 3x squared plus x all squared. Now in this question, the numerator is u, 5x plus 1, so u prime will be 5. Denominator is 2 square root of x, which is equal to x to the power of 1/2. The derivative will be 2, 1/2, x to the power of 1/2 minus 1. That's going to be equal to x to the power of -1/2, which is 1 over square root of x. Now, the derivative here will be u prime v, u v prime. So, y prime equal u prime v minus u multiply v prime over v squared. That's going to be equal to v squared is 4x, 10x square root of x. Now you can expand this. So it's going to be -5x over square root of x minus 1 over square root of x. Well, the negative came from here. Now you can divide this, you can divide and multiply by square root of x to have the common denominator. So you can add, this is going to be 10x minus 5x minus 1 over square root of x over 4x. Well, this can come down. It's going to be equal to 5x minus 1 over 4x square root of x. X square root of x, x basically is to the power of 1. Square root of x is to the power of 1/2. 1 plus 1/2 is 3 over 2. So it's going to be 5x minus 1 over 4x to the power of 3 over 2. Okay, so we're done for today. See you next video. Bye.